Before the world watched Nintendo and Sega battle for dominance in the West, an entirely different war was already raging. One fought in living rooms across Japan. A war of innovation, a war of ambition, and a war that most of the world never even knew happened. This is the Japanese console war, a forgotten battle for gaming supremacy. And this idea actually came from a viewer, WarioDude128, who dropped a fantastic comment on one of my last videos, suggesting I explore the Japanese side of the console wars. So, thank you for a comment and shout out to you, man. In 1981, long before Nintendo or Sega ruled living rooms, a company named Epoch led the Japanese home console market. Epoch wasn't a gaming giant, it was a toy manufacturer. But with the Cassette Vision, released in 1981, they stumbled upon something revolutionary: interchangeable cartridges. While primitive by modern standards, it offered Japanese players something new: a home console with swappable games. At a time when most systems were stuck with built-in titles. It wasn't powerful, it wasn't flashy, but it worked. And for a brief moment, the Cassette Vision dominated Japan, reportedly taking over 70% of the home console market. Games like baseball and Monster Mansion were simple, yet the novelty of switching games with a single click was pure magic. There was, however, one small thing Cassette Vision couldn't do. It couldn't subscribe to my channel. It couldn't. But you can. Now, okay, back to Japan, where the Epoch even launched a smaller, cheaper version, the Cassette Vision Junior, hoping to widen its reach. By 1983, the company stood proudly atop Japanese console mountain. But their throne wouldn't last long, because that same year, two other names were preparing to change everything. 1983, a pivotal year. While the gaming market in the West was collapsing, Japan was entering a golden age. That summer, two titans arrived simultaneously. Nintendo released the family computer, better known as the Famicom, and Sega launched their first console, the SG-1000, on the exact same day, July 15, 1983. Both systems marked the start of a new era, but their philosophies couldn't have been more different. Nintendo's Famicom emphasized accessibility and family-friendly fun. Sega's SG-1000, on the other hand, leaned toward arcade-style experiences, targeting players who craved faster, flashier gameplay. The Famicom launched with Donkey Kong and Popeye, instantly recognizable hits. The SG-1000 had titles like Flicky and Girl's Garden, developed by a young, I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name, Yuji Naka, who would later create Sonic the Hedgehog. But Nintendo had some crucial advantages: strong branding, affordable hardware, and a growing library of top-tier games. By the end of 1984, the Famicom had taken over Japan, selling millions of units. Sega, despite its solid effort, was already falling behind. By 1984, Japan's console landscape was exploding with creativity. Epoch tried to keep up with the Super Cassette Vision, an improved version with better graphics and sound, even partnering with popular anime brands like Doraemon and Dragon Ball. But it couldn't stop the Famicom's juggernaut. Nintendo continued to innovate. In 1986, they introduced the Famicom Disk System, an add-on that allowed players to load game from rewritable floppy disks. It was cheaper than cartridges, offered save data, and featured games like The Legend of Zelda and Metroid. It was a glimpse into the future, a modular, evolving console ecosystem. Sega responded with the SG-3000, a hybrid system that blurred the lines between a console and a computer. It supported keyboards, cassette data, and even educational programs. An ambitious but confusing move for a company still trying to find its identity. Both brands were learning, experimenting, and taking risks that would define the next decade of gaming. As Nintendo's Famicom dominated households, other Japanese companies saw an opportunity. In 1987, Hudson Soft and NEC joined forces to launch the PC Engine, known internationally as TurboGrafx 16. It was sleek, compact, and deceptively powerful. The first console to use U-cards, thin credit card-sized game cartridges, and boasting crisp visuals, it bridged the gap between 8-bit and 16-bit gaming. Games like R-Type, Bonk's Adventure, and Wise Book 1 and 2 showcased vibrant graphics and rich sounds that blew away most of the competition. Sega countered in 1988 with the Mega Drive, or Genesis in the West. A full 16-bit powerhouse designed to take down Nintendo once and for all. The rivalry reignited, but the competition wasn't just between two companies. It was an entire ecosystem of innovators pushing the limits of Japanese gaming. Meanwhile, Nintendo stayed quiet, only because they were preparing their own next move, the Super Famicom, which would arrive in 1990 and redefine gaming once and for all. These Japanese console wars may not have made headlines in the West, but their impact shaped everything that followed. They introduced ideas that would become standard across the globe: interchangeable cartridges, modular add-ons, rewritable media, and sleek, accessible design. From the Cassette Vision's humble beginnings to the dawn of the 16-bit era, Japan's living rooms were the laboratories of the gaming revolution. While the world remembers the Genesis versus the Super Nintendo Entertainment System showdown, it was in Japan where a true foundation was built. Japan's forgotten console wars weren't just about who sold most systems. They were about creativity, risk, and innovation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, you will love my Evolution of Consoles series, where I cover the rise of Nintendo, Sega, and PlayStation across the rest of the world. You can find part 1 up until part 3 right on my channel. So I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Bye everyone.